Hi everyone. My name is Sergej Kunz. I'm co-founder of 1inch. And today, I'm going to speak about the capital efficiency crisis in DeFi. 83 to 95% of all deployed capital sit idle or generate suboptimal returns in liquidity protocols such as Uniswap, Balancer, Curve, SushiSwap, PancakeSwap, and others due to the special pool architecture of DeFi protocol. If you look more deeper in the analytics, if you scan this QR code, you will land on a Dune.com website where you can see our research, where we discovered that 84% of capital is idle in Uniswap v3, Uniswap v4, and of course in Uniswap v2, what is full range liquidity protocol. Even Curve liquidity stays idle and only participate in the price formation, but is not working to generate fees for the liquidity providers. Uniswap v2 is an old thing with $1.5 billion of TVL right now, and in average between 2024 and 2025, we've got $1.85 billion TVL. Still generating fees with 95 liquidity, what is idle, not working. Uniswap v3 and Uniswap v4 got huge amount of liquidity out of range, so no one earns anything on these positions. And the same problem, a lot of liquidity sits idle, additionally to this problem. Less than 50% of LPs earn something. And this JIT, just-in-time liquidity providing by math bots in liquidity pools. On bigger trades, math extractors watching out for the transactions in the mempool, inject liquidity by using flash loans or own money into a liquidity pool before the trade happened on the pool. Catch all the fees, almost all fees in the pool to your own pocket, and remove the liquidity directly after the swap in the same block. Only in the past year, only in one single pool of Uniswap v3, there were more than $30 million extracted from the liquidity provider earnings. And of course, we have huge fragmentation. We have need of aggregators. We had the need already in 2019 when we found into a simple idea to aggregate liquidity sources by doing a single transaction and doing some math to find the best distribution among them. Nowadays, it's much harder. We have more than 7 million pools among the DeFi space. Why we should have 4 different pools? What has 1% fee, 5 bips fee, 30 bips fee? Who says that this amount of fees is the right amount for this specific pair? And why we need to pull together? So we can face JIT extractions. Through the distribution of these different pools, like the fragmentation of the liquidity among these different pools, we face also higher price impact because the liquidity needs to be splitted, even for the same pair. Ethereum USDC, for example, we have a lot of different pools. Why the hell we do that? But what if the same capital can power multiple strategies at the same time? Today we are happy to show our 1inch Aqua, the first shared liquidity protocol layer, what introduced shared liquidity approach. This is a breakthrough. It's fully self-custody service, a protocol where don't require you to lock your assets in smart contracts in liquidity pools, where your liquidity sits idle from 80 to 90 percentages of the capital. You can apply multiple strategies on the same liquidity, and you even have additional options to utilize the tokens. A good example is Uni token. If you deposit it in a liquidity pool, you cannot participate in the government and vote maybe against Hayden proposal to enable fees for LPs. So how Aqua works, all the assets stays in your wallet. You can apply multiple strategies on top of your assets. All this volume, what goes through the strategies, goes through specific implementation of the AMM, a virtual AMM, and specific rules, what are written in stone. No one can change them. And the capital works without fragmentation. You don't need to split your ETH among 3 different pools, or your stablecoins among 4 different pools to try to catch the volume. And any existing AMM can be implemented in just under 10 lines of code. If you look at the classic approach, what we have right now with all the protocols like Uniswap, Balancer, Curve, and others, you as liquidity provider, you need to lock your funds in those liquidity pools. And all the aggregators or arbitrage traders, market makers, use this liquidity and exchange assets among them and generate some fees for you as a liquidity provider. But we can do it differently. So, small, thin layer written in 100 lines of code allows everyone to create virtual strategies what interact with your wallet directly. It can be a normal wallet, UE wallet, or it can even be a Gnosis wallet or Ledger multi-sig wallet. Aqua is a layer what do accounting. It accounts the balances and approvals of each liquidity provider to all these different virtual AMMs. We give you a AMM Lego system where you can define your strategy by yourself. Of course, you can use predefined one, similar to Uniswap V2 if you want to sit full range, or Uniswap V3 with concentrated liquidity, or you want a balancer with 5 tokens of your portfolio, what gets always rebalanced based on the balancer formula, or you use Curve. You can use different money Legos and put them together to a strategy. Here in an example, you can choose constant product formula like you see in Uniswap. You can charge flat fee. You can even charge progressive fee based on the amount exchanged on your position. You can charge more fees. When the market moves, the protocol, the liquidity pool, the virtual AMM doesn't know what's happening outside, but you can guess. If someone exchanges a lot, then you can theoretically charge a lot. Such custom strategies are possible to implement in under 10 lines of code and just use it as an instruction in our protocol. You can even select the concentrated liquidity easily. I give you 3 examples of instructions, what we introduced, and everyone is welcome to contribute with own custom mathematical formulas to improve the efficiency of our decentralized financial space. So concept product is what you see on Uniswap. This formula was invented by Martin, the founder of Gnosis, and was used then at the end by Hayden Adams for Uniswap. We introduced concept of liquidity, not tick-based. It's just based on the scales. So there are 2 options. You can earn fees and your liquidity becomes deeper, or the price range can grow based on earned liquidity. Simple thing can be reviewed by everyone, less than 10 lines of code. We have something what we also add as an example, as an advanced Lego for your strategy. It could be a spread decay approach from Uniswap 2020. Uniswap is a small project of our 1inch team, what we introduced 2020. We collected $2 billion of volume, and we were able to generate half of the Uniswap fees, but having only a quarter of the liquidity in the protocols. So here in this case, if someone exchange assets in a strategy, the arbitrage opportunity is getting sold based on Dutch auction. So the arbitrage traders don't cut on your earnings, but pay you to be able to arbitrage the price in the reverse direction. A lot of very advanced strategies are possible. Since the assets are sitting on your wallet, you can use money market, you can use AU, you can use Morpho, even Compound. You can deposit in your money market, for example, 1 million USDT, and then you can leverage it. You can borrow USDC and use USDS and deposit again. So you can create a leverage. And then you withdraw like once again, you borrow once again, and you deposit once again. So you can make a leverage up to 5x, 4 or 5x, depends. So in this case here, you could have 3 million of USDT instead of 1 million USDT and 2 million that, and you will be still good in terms of liquidations. And our protocol is flexible enough so a custom AMM strategy can deposit first into your wallet and then get the destination token after the swap sent from the custom trading strategy. So you don't face any liquidations risks, and you get an exchange. So you can actually multiply your liquidity by this custom strategy. It's only one of those. If you're looking at the current situation with AMMs and DEXs, if you want to build own DEX, own AMM, you have a really nice idea, but you struggle with the thing that you need TVL. Yeah, you need someone who gives you the funds. This someone needs to remove these funds from somewhere where they already maybe generate 10% of the CPY. And then you need to take care about a lot of code. You need to write custom logic for deposit, withdrawal, balances accounting, swap settlement. You need to audit it. Yeah. And of course, you need your magic sauce, your swap logic, what would generate more yield than all others. So the entry barrier for developers, for DEXs, for MMs is huge right now in the space. Because major players like Uniswap sitting out there and saying on Twitter that time to time competitors appear, but on the chart we see that we have the most TVL, and they disappear again because of the huge entry barrier. We are changing this with Aqua. We're offering you a framework where you can build your own AMMs, and you don't compete anymore on TVL, you compete on the efficiency of your strategy. Look on the landscape. We have very complex setups, very low capital efficient setups like Uniswap V2 with still $1.5 billion in it. We have Balancer. We have seen the huge hack on Balancer. And this is a huge problem of all the developers. They need to write a lot of code. The architecture, what is used right now in the market, is too complex. You need to reinvent almost everything. But after Aqua, you don't have to. You don't have to take care about anything except your special spicy sauce strategy. So one more time, we have shared liquidity. We can use the same liquidity for multiple trading strategies. The capital efficiency is actually unlimited. It depends on how many pairs you create. I give you an example. If you have 1,000 Ethereum and you want to provide this 1,000 Ethereum into 3 different strategies, or maybe 4. For example, Ethereum USDT, Ethereum USDC, Ethereum DAI, and Ethereum WBTC. Right now, you need to choose the right pool with the specific fees, what you think would be maybe okay. But who says that 5 bips is okay? Who says that 30 bips is okay for this specific pair, Ethereum and WBTC? So you're free to choose how much fee you want to charge on specific pair, and this full amount of your Ethereum will be shared among these strategies, so you don't have to cut it in these 4 pieces. You can use the full amount. That means you get deeper liquidity, lower price impact, more volume, and more volume means more fees for you, SLP. So it's true self-custody. When you deposit in a smart contract, it's not self-custody. It's a smart contract custody. You need to trust the developers that they did everything good. And we have seen in Balancer case, over multiple years, no one could do something with this vulnerability, what was found recently. But through the complexity and this huge amount of code, something will fail. There's a Murphy's Law. If something can fail, it will fail. That's why we at 1inch, we try to reduce the complexity of any produced code to the minimum. We try always to remove if something can be removed, and try to adopt new kind of architecture. It's what we introduced with 1inch Aqua. Just as we did in 2019 by introducing aggregation among decentralized exchanges, Aqua is set to revolutionize DeFi. I would maybe say improve. It's not a revolution from our point of view. It's huge change for the DeFi space. It's a thing where everyone needs to rethink about like how they now build all the protocols. Aqua is the end of the fragmentation for DeFi markets makers. So we offer SDKs already. It's a developer release. We focus on researchers, security experts for the community, and for sure we want to get some credibilities in terms of for LPs, so that everyone understands what are the benefits of this protocol and that we are safe. We have only 100 lines of code. And of course, we have our bounties, $100,000 of bounties for developers, security experts, and researchers to improve our protocol. This is not just another protocol. It's a layer. This is a foundation for scalable, capital-efficient DeFi, what will replace traditional finances. This is the end of wasted capital. This is the beginning of shared liquidity. Developer release is available from now. Start building. You're welcome to join the Ethereum Global Hackathon this weekend. We'll be there. Come to us. We have a lot of ideas what can be built on top of Aqua, from vaults for generating huge amount of yield to other implementation of new kind of DEXs on top of this layer. We are not competing with anyone on the DEX space. We are empowering everyone here to be more flexible, to be able to build innovations in short amount of time, and this highly safety and secure for both sides, for the user and for the developers itself. Built on Aqua, go at 1inch.com/Aqua. Take a look on that. We have a white paper. And join our hackathon this weekend. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
No, please, no. Thank you so much, Sergej. And wow, okay, we have a couple of the audience here, so this is your chance. So please, before I ask for if you have any questions, so what tips do you have for people hacking it global?
Yeah, just
To
Just try whatever you think it makes sense. I have seen a lot of people, they don't believe in themselves. We face the same problem at 1inch. A lot of people at 1inch also sometimes don't really believe in themselves. So we have very often hard deadlines, especially Aqua release, for example. And people were thinking it's not possible to deliver. But I tried to show them that it's possible. You just to believe in yourself, and you just try. And when you try and fail, try again. Again and again and again. And one day you will have success.
Awesome. Who's going to Eat Global? I'm coming. Who is it? Okay, yeah. You got the tips from the co-founder itself. So, okay, who's got questions? Please raise your hand. Okay, we have here.
Hello, thank you. Very interesting presentation. As an LP, what are the challenges, risks that you see moving forward? And the second question, when do you see this product is being out so people, normal users, can LP on it?
So what risk you can face is, of course, smart contract risks. That's why we did developer release. We ensure that all the security experts have time to look on that, also independent one. Of course, we from our side order them as much as possible on security audits from different top-tier security auditors. In terms of capital risks, of course, impairment loss like you have everywhere else. But we improve the capital efficiency utilization of the assets through shared liquidity. That's why you should actually have better conditions, much better conditions than you can get everywhere else. In terms of release, we address end of this year. Again, my people say no, and I say yes. And we meet, I think, again in Dubai, in our office, and we'll work all together as a team with a special force team. We normally form special force teams where we work on the release to deliver high quality result at the end. Every project is welcome to build own interfaces, to use the Aqua layer to build own custom solutions. Even you can run it as a white label solution. So if you have a team, you can build it already by yourself. You need maybe to wait until the security audits are there from the protocol itself, and you can already start using it by yourself.
Thank you for the question. We have another one here.
Hi. So if you have like a liquidity, underlying liquidity that's split across like, I don't know, 3 different or 5 different pools, right? Like, doesn't that increase kind of like a chance of failure of failed transaction? Because, well, right now like you have like one liquidity for one pool, but then you kind of like share it across different pools. So like
yes.
if now you're depending that like if liquidity in all the other pools, virtual liquidity, gets moved, like now you cannot access the funds, right? So like it just seems like it increases the chances.
I have a counter question to you. What are you using for swaps?
Aggregators or CowSwap.
Great. So part of the volume from CowSwap goes to 1inch as well, because there are solvers who are using all the aggregators on the hood and have own engine like ButterSwap, for example. They are professionals, and you should not care as a user that the transaction will fail, because they are doing that, they monitor that, and they calculate by themselves how to distribute the funds for the swaps.
If the slippage is higher, they're gonna charge me more in advance. So like, yeah, but yeah, like, but there's another question about like, well, yeah, it's fine. So,
yeah. So in terms of like charging more fees and something like that, so the aggregator finds you the best execution. Yeah, they have an algorithm, multi-graph algorithm. What we have, for example, it sources all the liquidity sources and arbitrage them. It's actually arbitrage algorithm. These aggregators are actually arbitrage algorithms, what finds the best distribution among all the different pools, pairs, and dApps as well. So you should not care about that. And they are doing that very well. And we as 1inch, we are doing this also very well. And anyway, you use intent-based protocols, what actually is safe for you as user.
Another question is that like, if like right now, like if you go to Uniswap or something like that, like you have like basically shared liquidity. So like it's pretty cheap gas-wise, right? But from my understanding, maybe I'm not understanding fully the protocol, but if you're using liquidity from people's wallet, from actual wallets, it seems like there's a lot of transfers, a lot of like kind of like partitioning, right? But
Yes.
maybe I'm not understanding like
Fragmentation. It's a problem of aggregators. So if you have a nice position where aggregator can arbitrage, because someone wants to exchange on on the aggregator, they find the best distribution, and of course there are more transfers potentially, maybe less, but we have enough volume to cover the whole liquidity of DeFi with proper volumes. So they are all properly arbitraged. So it doesn't mean that it's not efficient in terms of execution. There will be always bigger pools, smaller pools, or maybe even vaults where someone just create a custom strategy in a vault and people can pool together. So these pools can be used for these swaps, and it's less fragmented. Yeah.
But then it's the same as it is today, right? Like
Yeah, it's more difficult for aggregators nowadays than with Aqua, than with the liquidity pools that we have out there, because we will have much more positions. But they are very good in finding the proper arbitrage opportunity.
okay, thank you.
Thanks.
We have one last question. One last. Who wants to be that? Okay, there. That's the last one. Yeah.
Two basic questions. Which chains will it be available on? And is there any limit to the number of DeFi strategies that one wallet can provide liquidity to?
So we deployed already on all available chains on 1inch. It's around 13 chains, EVM compatible. We are looking for Solana, also looking for support from the community to join us, to contribute, to build also on Sui and other blockchains. It's only 100 lines of code what you need to translate. So it's already there. You can already play around with this. You can find it in the docs. And in terms of limitations, there are no limitations. It's unlimited capital efficiency. You can create as many positions as you want.
Well, there you go. Thank you for the questions and thank you. So please give it up.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.